Good afternoon, D&D Davison, liveweatherblogs.com, here with your rainfall amounts for the day thus far, and also your updated Davison risk factor. First, let's go into the radar. You see where we have, this is the storm total for today so far. You can see a lot of the areas where 1 to 2 inches of rain have fell in the Roanoke Valley. Let's take a look out here near east of Danville and south of Farmville. A ton of rain. Some of the rainfall totals up to about 5 inches in some areas. So we have a widespread area of over 2.5 inches. There has been a lot of flash flood warnings for Roanoke, Bedford, and Franklin counties, most of the areas in the Roanoke Valley and east of the Blue Ridge today. So we have been having our problems here with some minor flash flooding. Taking a look also, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for near Asheville, just to the east of there. We've had also some severe thunderstorm warnings occur earlier in Bedford County and east there with a huge line of thunderstorms that came through with bowing echoes. If we got severe weather, and then we'll go into the risk factors for each of these days. Today we have North Dakota, South Dakota, parts of Wisconsin, and an area still possible. North Carolina, Virginia, still some unstable atmosphere. You get some severe thunderstorms like we have had earlier. Tornadic activity, best bet is up here in the Minnesota area and South Dakota. Hail, you see Minnesota, and wind was the main threat here in the Roanoke Valley. Then tomorrow we have Nebraska, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and a slight risk area. May get pushed a little further over with a new update at 2 a.m. Stay tuned to my overnight edition coming up later this evening. And the best threat is going to be here in Minnesota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And it pushes a little east into Iowa, parts of Kansas, up through Wisconsin and Minnesota. So there, Wisconsin, Minnesota's going to be a state. This year has been really hit by a lot of tornadic activity, and we're going to look at more possible tornadoes over the next couple of days. So we're going to go into our risk factor now. Looking at the Davison risk factor. The rest of today, we're looking at South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Tornadoes 25%. Winds at your highest level 55%. And hail at 50%. And we'll isolate a shot of some wind damage in Virginia and North Carolina. Looking at Thursday, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Iowa. Tornadoes 75% highest in Nebraska and South Dakota. Hail 85% and wind 90 percentile, so very high probability of everything occurring tomorrow. And for Friday, we're looking at Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas, South Dakota, Wisconsin. 35% top for tornadoes, a little less likely. 55% for hail and wind being your main threat at 70%. To live it on your Davison risk factor, we'll update the Davison risk factor tonight for 3 days out. Until then, this is D&D Davison, liveweatherblogs.com, with your latest on rainfall and the risk factor. Have a great evening.